Hi students, now we are going to discuss a series RLC circuit. You can see here in the circuit there is a resistor, inductor and a capacitor. They are connected in series and the series combination is connected across a voltage source which is AC. Voltage applied is alternating voltage. Corresponding to that alternating current will flow in the circuit which has different values at different instants of time. So at a particular instant, let I be the instantaneous current and Im be the maximum value, the peak value of the current. Now when this current flows through the resistor, a potential drop VR will be established across R and a voltage VL will be developed across this coil L and a voltage VC will be developed across this capacitor C. Since they are in series, the current will be the same. The current flowing through all the three components will be the same, but the potential difference VR, VL and VC will be different. So what will be the net potential difference in the circuit is equal to the vector sum of VR, VL and VC. Okay students, now what is VR? VR must be equal to this I maximum into resistance R and this is here in the resistive circuit I and V current and voltage are in phase with each other. They are in phase with each other. Okay, now here across the L, VL is equal to Im into the inductive reactance XL. Now we have seen that here in this I lags, current lags V by a phase angle pi by 2. When the current is lagging behind the voltage, I can also say that voltage is leading voltage. So V, the voltage V leads current I by the same phase angle pi by 2. Both are one and the same. Similarly, in the capacitive circuit, VC is equal to I maximum into XC. Now, in the capacitive circuit, we have studied that the current leads the voltage by pi by 2. The same I can also represent in the reverse way, that is V lags, the voltage V lags the current I by the same phase angle pi by 2. Okay students, so this is the first step. We have to write the voltage VR, the voltage VL and the voltage VC in terms of R, XL and XC. Now these three I am going to represent. In terms of a phasor diagram. I am going to draw the phasor diagram corresponding to these three voltages. So what is the phasor diagram? Goes like this. Now, before drawing the phasor diagram, I can assume either the voltage across the coil, that is VL, is greater than VC, or the other way. I can also assume the voltage across the capacitor VC is greater than VL. If I assume VL is greater than VC, then the circuit is called a predominantly inductive circuit. If suppose I assume VC is greater than VL, then the circuit is said to be predominantly capacitive circuit. Now in some textbooks they have assumed VL greater than VC. First I will do the derivation by assuming VL greater than VC. Finally I will explain what will happen if VC is assumed to be greater than VL also. Okay. Now the standard reference we have taken that resistive circuit. First I will take. In the resistive circuit, so this is the direction of the current. This is the direction of the current. So this is a current. And you know that the direction of the voltage in the resistive circuit is in phase. It is in phase with the current. So I will represent the origin. So this is O and this is I. This is A. Okay students. So OI is one phasor, OA is another phasor. Now the magnitude OI is equal to the maximum value of the current. So this angle is omega into T. I will take the magnitude of OI is equal to the current maximum. Similarly, the magnitude OA, so this is OA is equal to VM, V maximum. In the resistive circuit, no. Therefore, I will represent this also as VR. Because it is in the resistive circuit, the current and voltage are in phase with each other. So, this also is now equal to I maximum into R. I maximum into R. Now, I am going to represent here VL and VC. So, I will assume VL is greater than VC, so that the circuit is a predominantly inductive circuit. Okay. So, this is a predominantly inductive. Now, you have seen that in the inductive circuit, current lags the voltage, or voltage is leading the current by pi by 2. So, I will draw here by pi by 2, 90 degree. I have to draw 90 degree like this, and I will draw the vector VL. So, this is the vector VL. So, here I will write VL. And in the capacitive circuit, VC is lagging behind the current by pi by 2. So, VC vector I have to show. While drawing VC vector, its magnitude should be smaller than this VL vector. Because VL is greater than VC, we have assumed. Better, one idea I will tell you. Half the length of VL if you draw means picture will be very clear. Picture will be exactly clear. See here. I will draw this VC vector nearly half. Okay. So, half of this, and this is what? This is a VC vector. Now, this is a VL, okay? This is a this is a VR vector, and this is VL vector, this is a VC vector. So, with respect to the current in the circuit, VR is in phase with current, and VL is ahead of the current by a phase angle pi by 2. And VC is lagging behind the current by pi by 2. So, this should be conveyed in the picture correctly. Have you understood? Now, you see here, VL vector and VC vector are acting along the same straight line, but in opposite directions. So, what will be the resultant vector? What will be the resultant of VL and VC? We can rotate this VC vector, okay, on VL. We have to rotate through 180 degree. So that exactly midpoint, at this midpoint, you show the representation, this one, okay. So this will be what? Minus VC, this will be what? Minus VC, and the remaining will be, the remaining magnitude will be equal to VL minus VC. In vector form, it is VL vector plus VC vector only, but in magnitude, it is VL minus VC, no, because this VC vector is rotated, okay, by 180 degree. So the remaining portion will be what? VL minus VC. Okay. So that totally 3 vectors were there initially. What are the 3 vectors? VR vector, VL vector and VC vector are acting at the same point O. I have reduced the 3 vectors into 2 vectors. By keeping VR vector as it is, I have reduced the VL vector and VC vector into a single vector by rotating VC vector through 180 degree. This has to be understood. So that VL minus VC is the second vector. So the 2 vectors are visible to us. You have to look only the 2 vectors. That is this OA vector. Okay. If you want, I can write the names also like this. So this is OI, this is OA, this is OB, this is OC, and this is OD. Now we have to see the 2 vectors OA and OD. The angle between the 2 vectors OA and OD is equal to 90 degree. So we have studied a parallelogram law of vectors. Using the parallelogram law of vectors, I can find the resultant of this VR vector and VL minus VC vector. Okay, so I am going to complete the parallelogram. It will be a rectangle. So when I complete this parallelogram like this, you can see that I complete this rectangle. And what will be the resultant of VR vector and VL minus VC vector by parallelogram law? It must be equal to the diagonal, is it not? So I am going to draw this diagonal. Okay. So the diagonal of this rectangle, I will take this point as E. Okay. This point as E. So that I will join this. Can you see this green color line? Can you see this green line? So this will be the resultant voltage. So this will be the resultant voltage like this. And the maximum value of this resultant voltage is Vm. And it makes what angle with the direction of this current is equal to phi. So now in this picture, you see that green color vector, that is OE vector, that is the resultant voltage. The resultant of these three voltages, resultant of VR, VL and VC, and its maximum value is Vm. And it is represented by OE vector. Can you see that still now there is a phase difference between the current and voltage? Understand? So the current is along the direction OA and the resultant voltage is along the direction OE, so that there is a phase angle phi. This is the phase angle. Understand? Now I am going to find out the expression for Vm. Before that, in this picture we have represented the magnitude of OI is equal to I maximum. Okay, so this is nothing but I maximum only. And OA is equal to VR. This VR is equal to I maximum into resistor R. And similarly, now OB, the length OB. So what is the length of the phasor OB? This is O, this is B. So that is equal to what? VL. So this is equal to VL, that is equal to IM into XL. And OC now, OC, that is length OC is equal to the magnitude of the vector VC, and that is equal to I maximum into XC. Okay, students, have you understood? Now, from this parallelogram OAED, the diagonal is OE, its magnitude is Vm. So this diagonal Vm square must be equal to this VR square. So this is VR square plus VL minus VC the whole square. This is the basic equation we are going to substitute. So try to understand this equation, all of you. So this Vm square must be equal to this longer side VR square plus the shorter side VL minus VC the whole square. Understand? Now I am going to substitute for VR. VR is equal to what? Im into R. Similarly for VC I am going to substitute Im into XL. And for VC I am going to substitute Im into XC. So just I am going to substitute here in this equation. We will get the expression for the resultant voltage. You see here, therefore what? Vm square is equal to, instead of VR square I will write IMR whole square. So this is equal to Im into R the whole square. Okay, plus inside the bracket what I have to write, you see, that is VL minus VC. So instead of VL, Im into XL. So this is Im into XL minus Im into XC the whole square. So that this is equal to Im square into R square plus Im square. Common factor I will take Im square into XL minus XC the whole square. So that this is equal to Im square into, this is common factor, Im square is a common factor. So that remaining factors is what? R square plus XL minus XC the whole square. Okay students, now left hand side is still a square term only, no? This is Vm square if I take square root on both sides, taking square root, okay. So I will write this step, taking square root. If I take the square root means the left hand side will become Vm, and on the right hand side Im square, if you take square root it will become Im into square root of r square plus xl minus xc the whole square. So this is a square root, or Vm divided by Im. Vm divided by Im is equal to square root of r square plus xl minus xc the whole square. Now this equation is very important for us. This is the expression for the resultant voltage in a series RLC circuit. In IIT and NEET type of competitive examinations, this equation will be useful to solve the MCQs. Very important equation. So what is the expression for the resultant voltage? Vm is equal to Im into square root of r square plus xl minus xc the whole square. In the bracket xl minus xc the whole square is coming. This is because we have assumed predominantly inductive circuit. Suppose in the competitive exam they give the information such as predominantly capacitive, means you will have to write xc minus xl the whole square. Since there is a square term there, the value will be the same. xl minus xc whole square is nothing but xc minus xl the whole square only. Okay students, now you see that the left hand side of the last equation Vm by Im, it is like voltage divided by current. Understand? Voltage divided by current from Ohm's law. What must be that equal to? It's a measurement of resistance only. Okay. So the right hand side you will see that square root term, no, square root of r square plus xl minus xc the whole square. This must be a measurement of resistance offered by the RLC combination. So in the previous individual circuits, the opposition offered by the resistor alone is R. The opposition offered by the inductor alone is XL. And the opposition offered by the capacitor alone is XC. Now all the three are united together and they are opposing the current by a factor equal to this square root of R square plus XL minus XC the whole square. So this is the effective opposition offered by the RLC combination. And this only is called as the impedance. Now I am going to write here. So have you all understood this phasor diagram? Okay students, I will write below this itself. So this equation is continued here. This is therefore, okay, V maximum divided by this I maximum is equal to Z, and this is equal to square root of R square plus XL minus XC the whole square. This is called as the impedance, okay, the impedance of the circuit, impedance of the RLC circuit. So this is nothing but the effective opposition offered, okay, effective opposition offered to the flow of AC. So this also is very important for us. Understand students? Okay, now in this picture, what is this phi? Phi, this angle phi is called the phase difference. Okay, the phase difference between current and voltage. Now we have studied that if AC is applied only to a resistor, there is no phase difference between current and voltage. Only to an inductor, we have seen that the voltage leads the current by pi by 2, or the current lags the voltage by pi by 2. When AC is applied to only a capacitor, we have studied that the voltage is lagging behind the current, or the current is leading the voltage by pi by 2. Now when you combine this resistor, inductor and capacitor in series and then apply a AC voltage across this series combination, now also do you find that the voltage and the current are not in phase with each other? Okay, in this picture you see that the voltage is leading, is it not? Voltage is leading, okay. So this there is a phase angle between, there is a phase difference between the voltage and current, that only is denoted by phi. Understand? So look at the triangle OAE. Can you see the triangle OAE? I am going to redraw this. I am going to redraw this triangle. So only in that triangle we will find out the expression for this phi. Okay, students. So I am going to redraw the triangle. You can see the diagram, all of you. So this OA I will represent like this. Horizontally I will take. So this OA I have taken like this. And next one is AE. AE. This portion AE I am representing like this. This is AE. And the third portion, what is it? That is OE. So OE I am representing in a different color so that you can understand carefully. So this is a right angled triangle. So students, you see this is the point O and this is what? This is A and this point is what? E. Okay. Now you will see here this portion is equal to VR. The portion OA is equal to what? VR. And the portion AE is equal to OD, parallel sides. So if OD is equal to VL minus VC means what should be then? AE must also be equal to VL minus VC. So this portion is what? VL minus VC. Okay, students? And this is the phase angle phi. Okay. Now this is called a voltage triangle. This triangle is called as voltage triangle. Now we have already studied that VL. So VL is equal to what? I into XL and VC is equal to what? I into XC and VR is equal to what? I into resistance R. Understand? So you can see that the same current only. See, if IM is the maximum current, okay, then I can say that VL is proportional to XL and VC is proportional to XC and VR is proportional to R. So I am going to redraw this triangle. You see now. In terms of resistance or impedance. So here I am going to redraw the same triangle in a different way. In terms of resistance and reactance. Okay, so this will be the triangle. Same triangle only, but this time no, this OA instead of this VR, I am going to show this as R. So that instead of VL minus VC, this will be what? XL minus XC. And this point is E, this is what? Phi. This triangle is now called as impedance triangle. Okay, students, this is called as now impedance triangle. Both are similar only, is it not? So in this now, what is the tangent value of phi? You tell me. In a right angled triangle, I want to find out a tan theta or tan phi. So tan phi is equal to what? Opposite side by adjacent side. So tan phi is now equal to VL. Okay, VL minus VC divided by VR. So instead of this VL, I can write I into XL minus I into XC divided by I into R. Everything maximum. In terms of maximum current only we have explained. So this is now equal to, now I common factor. So here I can take I maximum as common factor. This remaining factor will be what? XL minus XC whole divided by what? I maximum into R. So that I maximum is getting cancelled. Therefore, what is the tan phi is now equal to? So tan phi is now equal to, after cancelling IM, this is XL minus XC divided by R. So this is one of the very important equations in RLC circuit. Have you all understood this? So for solving numerical problems, we require three equations. What I told you that the resultant voltage Vm square is equal to R square. Okay, that is Vm square is equal to Im square into R square plus square root of XL minus XC the whole square. Or This second equation also is very important. That is z is equal to square root of r square plus xl minus xc the whole square. And the third equation is what? Tan phi is equal to xl minus xc divided by r. This is for the circuit predominantly inductive. Now you see another set of equation we can write for predominantly capacitive. So for predominantly capacitive, what you have to do is this OC vector you draw twice longer than that of OB. Very simple. Only in the diagram and the final equation you have to make some changes. Otherwise both are one and the same. If it is predominantly capacitive means draw this OC twice longer than that of OB. So that you rotate VL vector over VC vector. This will become VC minus VL. Okay students. So predominantly capacitive. In predominantly capacitive means in that circuit the impedance Z will be equal to what? Square root of R square plus XC minus XL the whole square. Like this you will get. This is for what? Predominantly capacitive. And here tan phi also. Tan phi will be equal to XC minus XL divided by R. This is for predominantly capacitive. Otherwise, the derivation is one and the same. Moreover, if you take XL minus XC in place of XL minus XC also, it is not a mistake because it is a square term only. No, wherever you take square of a positive number also is positive. Square of a negative number also is positive. So you will be definitely correct in both the sense. Have you all understood, students? Hope you have understood. Fine. Thank you.